but she abruptly dropped off the map just as her career was supposed to pivot toward more serious, award-worthy mature leads. There wasn't some messy public meltdown or a sudden tragedy. She just stopped showing up. What really went down with Ali Sheedy? How did a woman with such massive potential end up leading acting workshops at a college decades later? Her journey into an entirely unexpected second act is actually quite fascinating, so let's dive into the truth. New York City welcomed Alexandra Elizabeth Sheedy on June 13, 1962, into a home buzzing with creativity. While his mother Charlotte balanced her career as a publicist and author with activism in civil rights and feminism, his father John climbed the corporate ladder in Manhattan advertising. When she was only 9, her parents split up, a life-altering event that deeply influenced her emotional range as an artist. Starting at age 6, she dedicated herself to the American Ballet Theatre, dreaming of a professional career on the stage. However, the harsh physical standards of the dance world triggered serious struggles with her body image as she matured. She eventually pivoted from the bar to the theatre, making a massive splash at just 12 years old. She actually penned a children's book titled She Was Nice to Mice, which became a legitimate bestseller with a major publisher. Right when she turned 18, Ali packed her life into suitcases and bolted for Los Angeles, enrolling in the prestigious drama program at USC. Television roles followed almost instantly, from small-screen features to a steady gig on the hit show Hill Street Blues. Her raw skill was undeniable, and the industry big shots were finally taking notice. She broke into film in 1983, playing the lead's love interest in Bad Boys. That same year, she shared the spotlight with Matthew Broderick in the massive hit War Games. That tech-heavy thriller pulled in over $125 million, proving she had undeniable star power. You could practically feel the heat between the stars, fueling a hit that basically predicted the home computer craze. But the real lightning strike hit in 1985, with the release of John Hughes' legendary film, The Breakfast Club. She became an icon playing the mysterious Alison Reynolds, the basket case who turned her own dandruff into artwork. That legendary performance solidified her status in Hollywood forever. Though filmed for a measly $1 million, the movie pulled in $51 million worldwide, ultimately defining the entire 80s teenage experience. 1985 also saw the release of Street Elmo's Fire, another project that cemented her place in cinematic history. This film gathered the core group of young actors that journalists were beginning to label as the Brat Pack. Taking on the role of Leslie Hunter, she explored the messy realities of life after graduation. At that point, she was widely considered the most talented and promising young woman in the entire business. Even so, that Brat Pack nickname started feeling like a cage that many of the actors grew to hate. By 1986, she was starring in the family comedy Short Circuit, featuring a sentient military robot. With over $40 million at the box office, 24-year-old Ali looked like she would rule Hollywood forever. Offers were flooding her mailbox, but behind the scenes things were about to take a dark, unexpected turn. Right as her career reached its peak, her private world began to crumble under the weight of fame. A high-profile romance with Bon Jovi guitarist Richie Sambora eventually pulled her into a spiral of substance abuse. At the height of her popularity in 1985, she had to check into the Hazelden Foundation for addiction treatment. Hollywood has zero patience for a hiatus, particularly for starlets. As Sally fought her own quiet wars, the roles dried up completely. Projects like Made to Order and Blue City failed to capture the magic of her earlier work, signaling a cooling trend. The inner circle was fracturing as every member scrambled to prove they weren't just relics of a passing moment. The 1990s proved to be a grueling decade for her, filled with overlooked projects like Fear and Man's Best Friend. She managed a few award nominations during those years, but her status as a top-tier lead never quite recovered. She spent that entire decade fighting a secret dependency on sedatives, desperately clinging to her fading stardom as the parts she was offered grew smaller. In 1992, she wed David Lansbury, the nephew of the great Angela Lansbury. By 1994, she was raising their son Beckett, choosing the joys of motherhood over the relentless demands of Tinseltown. While the marriage eventually crashed in 2008, the family life she established provided a grounding that her professional life no longer could. She truly hit her stride in 1998 with the indie gem High Art, playing a heroin-addicted photographer named Lucy Berliner, who romances a young editor. It was a total departure from her previous roles, unflinchingly raw and sexual, and she was absolutely phenomenal in it. High Art took Sundance by storm, instantly making Ali the talk of the town. Critics who once dismissed her as a faded 80s icon were suddenly forced to see her in a whole new light. She snagged the Independent Spirit Award for Best Lead Actress, along with top honors from major critic circles. At 36, she proved once and for all that she was a heavyweight talent. Ali calls High Art the definitive highlight of her career. The character struck a deep chord with her own history of addiction, even if the script wasn't literally a page from her diary. The raw vulnerability she brought to Lucy Berliner came from a place of genuine struggle. This was pure, hard-earned art, crafted by transforming her own suffering into something beautiful. High Art wasn't a ticket back to the Hollywood big leagues, but it did open some unexpected doors. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, she built a steady television career with guest spots on shows like Psych, CSI, and Kyle XY. These roles kept her working consistently without the crushing weight of being a top-tier movie star. She also stayed active in the indie scene, appearing in Todd Solondz' 2009 film Life During Wartime. Her true comeback happened in 2022, with Single Drunk Female playing the mother of a young woman in recovery. Landing her first major series regular role, the character hit close to home, mirroring her real-life journey through addiction and the long road to recovery. Critics obsessed over her gritty yet tender portrayal of motherhood, and the drama stayed a total winner during its two-season run. In 2024, she took part in Andrew McCarthy's film Bratz, reuniting with her old peers to unpack the baggage that specific media label left on their lives. Ali emerged as a voice of reason, getting real about the unfair stereotypes that boxed them in and killed their momentum in Hollywood. The film became a huge hit on Hulu, reintroducing these iconic actors to a whole new generation of viewers. However, this career revival came with a harsh reality check about how volatile the industry is today. During 2023 and 2024, despite glowing reviews, corporate suits didn't just pull the plug on Single Drunk Female, they scrubbed it from streaming libraries entirely. This served as the ultimate wake-up call that nowadays, even a massive reputation won't save your projects from vanishing into thin air overnight. Today, at 62, Ali Sheedy has finally found a healthy balance between her acting work and her passion for teaching. Since 2021, she has taught at the City College of New York, sharing 4 decades of insight with kids born long after The Breakfast Club hit theaters. She mentors them on everything she lacked as a rookie, from navigating film sets to protecting their mental health and building a lasting career. On the side, she edits books under a pen name, a quiet pursuit that honors her history as a children's author while shielding her private life from the public eye. Raising her trans son Beckett has been a profound journey, turning her into a vocal advocate for parents supporting their children's true identities. Moving into 2025 and 2026, her time at City College has become much more than just a paycheck. She's become a vital mentor, focusing on camera acting while prioritizing the mental health lessons she learned the hard way. Her journey offers a few key takeaways about the industry, starting with the fact that early fame is a double-edged sword. Being part of the Brat Pack brought her worldwide fame, but it also locked her into a box that took decades to escape. Second, she proves that personal battles with addiction don't have to end a career if you're willing to do the work. More importantly, her journey proves that reinventing yourself can happen at any point in life. Just as Hollywood turned its back, she revealed a profound artistic soul that had never been truly explored before. Recent performances in Single Drunk Female and the Bratz Project show a woman who finally reconciled with her history, while she continues to evolve as a creative force. For audiences who fell for her as Alison Reynolds in The Breakfast Club, her trajectory represents something much more intricate than the typical narrative of a fallen star. This is the story of a creator who withstood the crushing pressure of teenage stardom and battled personal darkness, emerging as a dignified actress, a beloved mentor, and a resilient survivor. So, that's the full story of a Brat Pack icon who transformed herself into an acclaimed actress and college professor. It's a powerful lesson on the risks of early success and the importance of finding a purpose beyond the spotlight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Hollywood stories. See you next time. Back in the 1980s, Ali Sheedy stood as a titan among young Hollywood stars. Her membership in the iconic Brat Pack meant she was the face of a whole generation. She crushed it in hits like War Games and The Breakfast Club before turning 23. By then, her costers included heavyweights like Sean Penn and Rob Lowe. It looked like she was a lock for Hollywood.